Appreciate you being here today. We all received in the mail our agenda. Do you all have that in front of you or nearby?
Well, we're waiting for a few more people. Right now, there are only 3 members on. So we're going to give them a few more minutes, just in case anyone else is having.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's
when
fine.
I called in, it said 7, so I thought there were more members. Well, if that's the case, Takesha, is that the right name?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you try to send me the email again and let me see if I can log on via Zoom?
Okay, I will send it right now.
All right. So I'm having some challenges with my laptop, so I'm actually having to do Zoom from my phone. So I'm going to hang up and check to see if I can sign in on the Zoom link that you're sending me. I can check my emails from my phone as well. So I'm going to hang up.
Okay, I just resent it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, Twana is connected.
Okay, there she is.
Yeah.
It says your audio is okay.
Tell her, keep on hanging in there. She'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to work something out. We can't hear her. I see
Yeah,
what's going
connecting.
on.
We're still connected.
It says your audio is connecting, if you can hear us. Okay, you're muted now.
Pamela just came in.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, Miss Corbett, we can hear you. Oh, we can hear you, Tawana.
Hey, baby. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Madam Secretary, can you tell me how many we need for a quorum?
We need 6.
Yes. And in anticipation of just this thing, because this, I imagine, is vacation period and people may not have be in town and be able to participate. I conferred with Angela. She won't be able to join us this evening. And she said in the event that we did not have enough members for a quorum, to form a quorum this evening, what we would need to do would be to table the adoption of the April and May meeting minutes until our next meeting, and just proceed with the information from Captain Gomez and any other agenda items that don't require a vote.
Very good.
And Mr. Masacampo had to pick his children up, but he said he would be signing on a bit late. So I know that he is coming, but in the interest of time, since it's 6:15, we can go ahead and have you call the meeting to order, since there aren't any items that'll need to be voted on.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to call the meeting to order and to say hello to everyone, and I hope you're having a happy and great summer. Seeing your faces and nods of heads, I think we're doing well. And at least the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've been in the 90s. Prior to that, it was somewhat comfortable. We've had a lot of rain of late. So it's a good summer. Hopefully that means that the crops for the fall might be doing well for their seedlings. So this is a good thing. Madam Secretary, could you please do roll call and let us record those that are present?
I sure will. Pamela Corbett,
Here.
Leon McCullough,
Here.
Emma James, Brittany Spees, Kathy McLean, Michael Fraden,
I'm present.
Beverly Carter, Tawana Robot,
Present.
Annika Annette, Christian Beatty.
Thank you. So let it be recorded that we proceeded with the meeting without a quorum. In future meetings, we will vote on the minutes from the April meeting and the May meeting. So again, thank you everyone for being present. Could we begin with our quarterly reports?
Madam
believe-
Chair, before
Yeah.
we get to that, can I do you have the Safer at Home statement?
I do not have it in front of me. May I ask you to read it, please, for everyone? Unless, is it a document that you perhaps could pull up and I could read?
Okay, I'm pulling it up. I can read it. So I'll read it since you don't have it on hand, but due to the Safer at Home order issued by Governor Cooper and the current pandemic, members of the Citizens Police Review Board are participating virtually. All members will vote by roll call, and a member will be recognized, at which time that member will state his or her name. So just wanted to read that so it's clear why we're all on Zoom and not in person. And Madam Chair, you are clear to proceed.
Thank you. I appreciate you for reading that. Let us take a look at our agenda. And the next thing that I have on my agenda is our quarterly report. Is Mr. Police Gomez with us?
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. So I wanted to start off the evening with some news. So in the beginning of June, I was promoted to the rank of Assistant Chief. So as part of that promotion, I will be moving on from the Professional Standards Division. Captain Katie Allen, which you guys see on the screen, has been selected to take over the Professional Standards Division. Many of you guys know Captain Allen as she presented to you guys on use of force. She is an expert in that field. We're excited to have her on board running the Professional Standards Division, as she will be that commander for that section. So I'm going to allow her to reintroduce herself and kind of give you a little bit of her background so you guys become familiar with her before I introduce the quarterly stats.
So good evening, everybody. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my voice, but I'll be really brief with you. I'm excited for this opportunity to work with this group, and Chief Gomez has kind of briefed me on what my role will be in presenting with you guys. But just a little bit about myself. Born and raised here in Winston, so I'm very familiar with the city. Been at the police department since 2000. Chief Gomez and I were in the same rookie class together. So I've kind of worked in several different places within the department, spent a large majority of my career in the patrol division. I worked on the downtown bike patrol, worked in the training division as the use of force coordinator and physical fitness instructor. And then I also worked in our recruiting division. Prior to my assignment into professional standards, I've been the captain over support services, handling most of our non-sworn employees, communications, records division, and the IT division. So, and my husband's also an employee at the police department. He works on the SWAT team. So that's just a little bit about me.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. We look forward to hearing from you. And congratulations, Officer Gomez.
Yes.
As I see the nods in the heads of the people that are on our meeting, we're very proud of you and appreciate the success that you've had thus far.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I did mention to Keisha that one of the objectives we started with this group, and you were very active in helping us, was potential training opportunities for this group. And I mentioned to her earlier today when we were chatting that I would like to hear, if possible, and I certainly want to seek the advice of other members, given the recent shootings that have taken place at the mall and various places across the country, I would be interested in hearing what the strategies are for our city and in specific with our police department if such a dilemma occurs in our community. So, Officer Gomez, that is something I'm interested in. I would pause, see if there are others interested, and perhaps you could provide us some guidance on how we could learn more about that.
Yes, ma'am. So okay, sorry, I thought I was on mute. So as we've discussed in the past, there's certain training opportunities that are related to the Citizens Police Review Board process that we certainly make available to the board. That I think falls a little bit outside of the purview, but we can certainly have those conversations and make those arrangements. We have those type of conversations and those type of training sessions with the public. I think the challenge for us is once we get a certain number of you guys together, there's certain decorum and certain rules that we have to follow. But I will get with Keisha and Miss Angela Carmen to ensure that that we can provide this type of training, especially within the allotted time. We may have to do it in another session that's not this type of session, but I will certainly look into that. And Captain Allen is great at putting these training sessions together and presenting them, as you guys have seen in the past. But that's certainly something that we will look at, and we will provide some feedback either through the city attorney's office or the next time we meet.
Thank you. I have
Yes,
positioned this. Could I get feedback from other members to see if this is an interest? Just no.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, we're reading about it every day, and the proliferation of guns. And I know that many of us don't even have an inkling of an idea of just how prevalent the gangs and the guns are in our community. And I think any way that you can educate us about that.
Yes, ma'am.
you know, it really ought to be with a purpose other than satisfying curiosity. So I'd like to think about that some more. But obviously we are reading about this quite a bit and knowing what our police department is doing. And I'm sure there is plenty that you are doing.
So we have a bunch of plans and a bunch of different efforts that we have launched, that we're in the middle of, and continue to look at new avenues to address the gun violence. It's certainly not specific to Winston-Salem. It's a nationwide issue. As I said, but we will certainly explore what the best option to provide you guys with that information will be.
Well, and I will add that as a member of the Public Health Board, which is now the Health and Human Services Board, I'm aware of the fact that the county has a project going with the hospitals that will help, that has as its goal to address the gang violence by leveraging some of the insiders, the people who live there, to help deal with that. And so I think we need to be diplomats and for the police department and other efforts of what we're trying to do to maintain a safe community. So the degree that you can use this that way, go for it.
Thank you, Ms. Pamela.
And also, I would like to say I totally agree with what have already been said. I think this board should be knowledgeable of every area in the city, especially the gangs and especially the gun violence. We should be up with it. In other words, knowledgeable of that because of the position that we are setting in. That's my opinion. So that we can maybe advise somebody, help somebody, direct somebody to your office, different things like that. But if we're not aware of what's going on around us, we can't direct instruct somebody to talk to you all.
Yes, sir. I completely agree. It's definitely a collaborative effort, and we since I've been at the police department, really since the late 80s, the police department has taken that collaborative approach. It's something that we take pretty seriously. The only thing that I want to ensure is that we do that through the proper venue, if you will, just because of what this board is set up to do. But that's definitely conversations that I can have with Ms. Carmen and Keisha, and just to make sure that we're doing it appropriately and following the rules and decorum of the Citizens Police Review Board.
Thank you.
Yes,
are there other comments? Sir, if hearing none, sir, I appreciate your consideration, and I'm sure Ms. Keisha and Ms. Carmen will give us directives on what is appropriate for our committee.
Yes, ma'am. So that being the case, I'm going to move on straight into the quarterly reports. If you guys will look at your citizen quarterly summary, we're in quarter 2. We have received 6 complaints from citizens for a total of 16 allegations. Those 6 complaints are open and under investigation, and those allegations consist of 4 of arrest, search, and seizure, 5 of courtesy, 5 of use of force, and 2 of conformance to laws. Are there any questions regarding the citizen complaints that came in? Okay, I'm going to move on to the departmental reports for quarter number 2. As of now, we have 9 internal complaints that have been logged for a total of 10 allegations. Those allegations consisted of 1 for courtesy, 1 for dissemination of information, 1 for conformance to laws, and 7 for operation of motor vehicles or operation of vehicles. And 2 of those have been sustained for the operation of vehicles. As you guys know, as the time goes on and we allow the process to take its course, those numbers will change and it'll be reflected in the upcoming quarters as you guys receive those numbers. Unless anybody has any questions, that's the presentation of the quarterly stats for quarter number 2.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or feedback for the stats that they just gave us? Gentleman just gave us. Okay. Hearing or seeing none, we appreciate you, Officer Gomez, for your report. As usual, it's thorough and detailed, and so we embrace what you've shared with us. Thank you very much. You also, if I could move us forward, the other piece that's on the agenda, we probably will have a fairly short meeting today. In your packet, there is the Citizens Review Board membership roster. If you could review the mailing addresses, the phone numbers, and so forth, and do let our secretary know if there are any changes or corrections that need to be made. So I will pause to see if there are any additional points or changes regarding your membership roster.
My mailing address needs to be updated.
Who is speaking?
EJ Masicampo.
Okay.
DJ,
I think we made note of that, didn't we, Charlene?
916, right?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, EJ. Okay. Hearing no other corrections, unless there's something someone's about to say. Hearing no other corrections, we received this document. There's no reason to vote or anything, but just to say to the secretary to place it in record as a document that we all are aware of and had an opportunity to review for any necessary corrections. I will pause to see if there are additional items we should add to our agenda today.
Well, I noted under new business, I have an update as it relates to virtual meetings and the next meeting.
Yes, ma'am. If you'll please share that with us.
Okay. Prior to this last week, we were given an update that quite possibly Governor Cooper would be rescinding the declaration of emergency on August 15th. As I mentioned in our prior meeting, if that happens, either Governor Cooper rescinds his order or the mayor rescinds his order, the provision by which the committee is allowed to meet virtually goes away. The city council in its, I believe, June meeting approved changes to the city code of ordinances that do allow for virtual meetings. However, in order to take advantage of that, if the declaration of emergency goes away, you all will have to meet in person as a body once to vote to resume virtual meetings. Given that the community spread numbers are higher than anticipated, that state of emergency may not go away on August 15th. And in the event that that doesn't happen, we will still be virtual. But just know that the October meeting may or may not be in person, depending on what either Mayor Joines or Governor Cooper does as it relates to declaration of emergency. And if there are any questions, I will certainly be happy to clarify that or entertain any of the other questions you have about that. And then that, Madam Chair, that was the only item I had under new business.
Okay. It is not on the agenda, but do we have any old business? Okay. I appreciate your support, staff. Thank you very much, and members of this committee for your attention today. We will reconvene in October. Ms. Keisha, if Officer Gomez or others would like to have additional dialogue in regards to the information shared about some of the gang violence and things might be going on in our community, please let me know. Ms. Pamela, I may call you and ask you to sort of repeat your perspective if I'm asked, so that I can represent at the table all the comments that I can recall. I appreciate the secretary also making notes today as well.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
If we completed all the business for today, I make a motion that we adjourn.
At one point.
Thank you, sir. I received your motion to adjourn. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Ms. Pamela. We have had a motion. You've had a
Prior to
motion.
returning, I just want to bring up one more point for the group. And it relates to your question or your statement regarding the requested trainings from our Professional Standards Division and other Winston-Salem Police Department staff liaisons. In the event that you all think of a topic that you would like for us to take to them as a potential training topic, you don't have to wait until the meeting to do that. You can email either me or Charlene with that when it pops in your head, so that we can pass that along, because I know sometimes because we meet quarterly, you may have an idea, tomorrow, but next time we meet, it might not be at the forefront. So please feel free to email us with any questions or potential training topics you may like to see, and we can keep track of those and then bring them forth at the next meeting. I just wanted to put that out there as a reminder.
I have one, if possible, gang relations.
You say gang relations?
The gangs in Winston-Salem, the different symbols, because they're all over the place. I think we should, as a board, should be knowledgeable of that, the different kinds of names and where they are and everything.
Okay, I'll make note of that. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor. We've had a motion and a second. All in favor of the ending of this meeting, please say aye. Aye. I see everybody. I see all these hands. Any opposition to ending the meeting? Hearing nor seeing no opposition, we will proceed forward with adjournment. Again, I want to thank everyone for your time and attention today. Have a great rest of the summer. I look forward to seeing you in October.
Thanks.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Good
Y'all have a good
evening.
evening.
You too.
Thank
Bye.
you.